How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys a super powerful melee setup that you guys can be using right now in Back 4 Blood. But before we get into that, if you're new here to the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with. So if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in the deck building menu in Back 4 Blood. This is going to be the complete deck list, so if you guys are just looking to copy and paste the deck, now is your time to do so. But for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to be talking about what role every card plays in the deck and just everything like that. Now, the game plan that you guys are going to want to be implementing when you guys are using this deck specifically is you guys are going to be on common patrol. The one thing that the melee decks in the game do very, very well is dealing with very large quantities of common infected, and there's lots of value that we can be, getting from killing, hundreds upon hundreds of common infected. We kind of want to leave the special infected to basically everyone else on the team, unless it's something like a Crusher or a Tall Boy that is immediately affecting with the rest of your team. The general rule of thumb that you guys want to be following is you want to be the front line of your team, and you want to be clearing all of the common infected out of the way and mainly letting your team deal with the special infected. Now, the first two cards in our deck are both going to have to deal with our melee attack speed, and the first one's going to be Brazen, which gives us plus 15% melee stamina efficiency and plus 20% melee attack speed, and it also gives us 15% bow stamina efficiency and 20% bow attack speed, but we don't care about that. We're only here for the melee part of the card. And up next we got Slugger, which is going to give us plus 5% health and plus 10% melee stamina efficiency and plus 20% melee attack speed, and it also gives us the same bow statistics that we get on Brazen, but again, we're not playing it for that, we're playing it for the melee half. Now, something of note is that these cards usually come in a package of 3. People usually play Brazen, Slugger, and then Meth Head, but I'm actually not playing Meth Head in this build because, yes, it, kind of does like the whole melee thing where you can swing faster and swing longer, but it also makes it so we can't aim down sights on our guns, and I feel like with just how the game has progressed since, like, the launch of the game, with the Children of the Worm DLC, and now with the new special infected coming from the River of Blood, most of those special enemies are better if you can take them at a distance, and most of the time, you have to be able to pull out your gun and aim and shoot at various things throughout the map, whether it be sleepers, whether it be snipers, whether it be stuff like puff slingers or other special infected that are going to try to hit you from a distance. There's just a lot of times where aiming your gun is really, really relevant, and completely taking away your ability to aim your gun, I have found has been very, very crippling for the melee decks, and it really makes it so you just kind of can't do anything when something hits you from more than 5 feet away. Alright, and moving on to the next category, which is going to be completely based around our stamina bar. And to start this category off, we have Adrenaline Fueled, which is going to say whenever we kill an enemy, we gain 5 stamina instantly, and we gain an additional 7 stamina over 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Up next, we got Rhythmic Breathing, which is just going to give us plus 40% stamina. Up next, we got Cross Trainers, which is going to give us plus 20% stamina, 20% stamina regeneration, plus 3% move speed, and plus 5 health. And to round this category off, we have Natural Sprinter, which is going to give us plus 100% stamina regeneration, but minus 50% of our maximum stamina as the downside. Now, as far as why I chose to play these stamina cards specifically, I do feel like these are just the 4 best stamina cards in the game. I think Adrenaline Fueled is absolutely insane, especially in like a melee deck specifically, because this card alone is going to make sure that you never run out of stamina as long as you're in the action. Because when you think about it, the stamina bar in a melee deck is much like your ammo for like a gun deck, because we don't really use our guns in melee, so the ammo doesn't really matter, but our stamina bar is like the most important thing that we have to look out for. And if there's just a card that gives us essentially infinite stamina whenever we're killing common infected, you obviously need to play that card. And something of note is this card doesn't specifically say whenever you melee an enemy, it just says whenever you kill an enemy. So whenever you're low on stamina and you find yourself kind of like stranded, you can actually just pull out your primary weapon, kill a few common infected, and that's going to proc Adrenaline Fueled a few more times. Now, for Rhythmic Breathing, the same logic kind of applies. You want to think of our stamina bar as more of like our ammo bar when we're playing melee, because the entire deck revolves around having stamina. So getting almost half of our stamina that what we spawn with for absolutely no downside seems way too good to, pass up. Now, the reason that I'm playing Cross Trainers and Natural Sprinter in this deck is because as of right now, I do think that having more stamina regeneration in your deck is a lot better than just having a bigger stamina bar. Because, I mean, if you take your huge stamina bar all the way down to nothing, it's going to take a really long time for it to fill back up, and I mean, it's going to make you kind of useless for a little bit, or at least not as good as what you could be. But when you have more stamina regeneration than anything else, it's going to make it so like even the couple seconds of downtime that you have in between killing zombies, you're going to get at least a good chunk of your stamina back that you're probably not going to go through whenever you're killing your next horde, because of cards like Adrenaline Fueled. Alright, and moving on to the next category in the deck, which is just going to be all of the damage cards in the deck. And to start this off, we have Berserker, which has each melee kill grants 5% melee damage, 5% melee speed, and 5% move speed for 4 seconds. Up next, we got Mean Drunk, which is going to give us plus 40% melee damage, and says our melee attacks cause cleave through enemies, dealing damage in a large area. Next, we got Spiky Bits, which is going to give us plus 15 melee damage and plus 20% damage resistance when we're using a melee weapon, with minus 15% of our ammo capacity as the downside. And to round this category off, we have Heavy Hitter, which has melee hits always stumble ridden the first time they are hit. This effect can only occur once per target. Now, as far as why I think you should play just these damage cards specifically, and I don't really think you guys should be messing with any of the other damage cards in the game as of right now, is because I think Berserker and Mean Drunk are going to give you enough base damage for pretty much anything that you're actually going to need to kill in the game, because Berserker is going to be fully procced a lot more than what you think, and I mean, plus 40% melee damage is pretty good. Now, for Spiky Bits, we mainly play this card for the damage resistance, but getting that extra melee damage is nice, and this card basically has no downside, because yeah, I get it, we lose some ammo capacity, but we don't ever really use our gun, so that's not really that big of a downside. Plus, I mean, if we do use our gun, we're still using it drastically less than what any other gun deck would be using it. Now, Heavy Hitter, in my opinion, is like the best card in the entire deck, because this is the card that makes it so you basically don't just auto die whenever you have to face a special infected, because this makes it so, as the card says, every single time you hit a special infected for the first time, they are going to stumble, and that is good for a multitude of reasons, because that is going to give you the time that you need to be able to find and, you know, attack the weak spots of all the bigger special infected, like tall boys and crushers and stuff like that. And if your teammate is being grabbed by something like a crusher, you know, you can hit them and it's going to stumble them, which is going to make them drop your teammate. And there's just a lot of different utility ways that this card can be used, aside of just killing all of the special infected in your path, which is what this card lets you do. Now, with this being said, I don't think you guys should be, you know, trying to challenge every single special infected that you can just because you have Heavy Hitter. This card is more or less just something that you have in your back pocket if you need to fight a special infected. I still think that you should leave the special infected to your other teammates that are going to have things, you know, like assault rifles, sniper rifles, you know, things that can actually kill them. You should definitely still stay on the common, but this is a good thing to have. And moving on to the last category in this deck, which is just going to be all of the health cards in this deck, because melee is actually really, really good at keeping not only yourself alive, but it's actually really good at keeping your teammates alive as well. And to start this category off, we have Battle Lust, which says melee kills heal 1 health and 0.125 trauma. Next, we got Face Our Fears, which is going to heal 1 temporary health whenever we kill a Ridden within 2.5 meters, basically saying whenever we kill a zombie by meleeing them, we get a temporary health. Up next, we got Vanguard, which is going to say melee kills heal 1 health to yourself and teammates within 10 meters. And to round this category off, we have EMT Bag, which is going to give us plus 50% healing efficiency. Now, Battle Lust, Face Your Fears, and Vanguard, they pretty much all do the exact same thing, but when you take into account everything that actually happens every single time we kill a zombie, we're getting 1 health from Vanguard, we're getting 1 health from Battle Lust, and we're working towards our trauma. Like, I get it, it looks like, you know, not a lot because we get only 0.125, but think about just how many common you guys are killing at a time, and that's going to make it so you guys are actually really self-sustainable, and it's going to make it so you guys don't have to use things like the first aid cabinets as much, and you can leave them for your teammates because you have a way to actually deal with your trauma just naturally with Battle Lust, and I think that's really, really big. And the fact that we're getting 2 health and a temporary health every single time that we kill a Ridden, and our teammates are also getting healed 1, and we're also going to be getting more healing than that because we're playing EMT Bag, and healing efficiency actually works with these cards now, so we're just going to be getting that much more health. And I mean, when you multiply that times all the common that we're going to be killing, it's going to make us pretty much unkillable unless we get, you know, stun locked by, you know, a sleeper or something like that, and you know, we literally can't play the game anymore. But other than that, we usually don't die. And the last card in this deck is going to be Reckless Strategy, which is going to give us plus 30% weak spot damage and minus 5% damage resistance as the downside. Now, the reason that this card is in the deck is mainly just so you guys can actually 1v1 special infected and not take an absurd amount of damage doing it. I didn't really want to throw any other weak spot damage cards in the deck because I just didn't really think any of them were worth playing. Like, I think Ridden Slayer is just too little and too linear. It just doesn't do enough. And I didn't think playing something like Hyper Focused is like where the deck wanted to be because of, you know, the movement nerf that you get while you're actually using Hyper Focused. And I was playing Killer Instinct in the last deck, which gave, plus 30% weak spot damage, but it also disables our aim down sights, and we, kind of don't want to play that because we're not playing Meth Head either. So I feel like those were the two big cards that I had to cut for this version. But I'm willing to give up some extra weak spot damage for the ability to actually aim my gun and be able to kill things that are more than 5 feet away from me. Well, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a comment down below telling me any deck changes that you guys would make. And as always, if you happen to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Back 4 Blood content just like this. Also, make sure to check out the link to my Discord server. It's going to be down in the description below. You guys can use it to find teammates to play Back 4 Blood with. So if you guys are in some dire need of teammates, make sure to come check out the Discord server. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you guys in the next video.